Bonani.
Hello, hello, hello.
We got the whole family here today to explain ourselves. Actually, one person in particular asked me directly over the phone, why doesn't Fez have an English name? Then other people were just, you know, either via DMs or via comments here and there. So I told Lozzie about it and I was like, actually, someone even suggested we make a video out of this.
Okay, that's why we're here.
And that's why we're here. So we're about to explain why Fezile does not have an English name. Get into it. And yeah, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Let's get into this.
Hey there. It's Yolz Channel.
Why doesn't Fez have an English name?
How? We're not English.
Okay, simply put, that's the reason.
Well, I mean, for me, it was purely equity. I have an English name purely at the time that I was born in South Africa. My parents obviously saw it fit that I have Lwazi, an English name. Just to make things, because I guess the whole thing, English names, was always associated with what's your Christian name.
Yeah.
You understand? So that's where it was stemming from. And for me, I used my English name in primary school. Then when I got to high school, I was like, listen, I'm actually going to use Lwazi as my first name. Yeah. And people need to know me as Lwazi. Yes, there were people that I went to primary school with that obviously knew me as Maxwell. So I just like, listen, no.
It's no more Maxwell.
Lwazi.
It's Lwazi now.
Lwazi. I've always felt that it's about making things simpler for others. Because I mean, you pronounce whatever culture, whatever person their name is, you're pronouncing it. It's Afrikaans, it's English. Why is it going to be difficult when it comes to us with my Xhosa name? It's not as if it's got a click.
And even those that do have a click, why is it that they shouldn't be introducing themselves in their name? Unokolo, you know, Hamachata if it's their surname.
Yeah.
Why are you laughing?
It's getting spicy.
No, he's spicy right now.
So for me, that's what I've always held firm. And I know that you were adamant about giving Fez an English name.
I actually wanted to call him Liam.
I know.
You liked the name as well.
I do.
And then
without a doubt,
2-3 months before we gave birth, he was just like, let's just stick to Fez.
It was way before.
Was it way before?
Way before.
When did we come up with the names?
Names, we had Fezile like
at 12 weeks.
3 months.
No, love.
3
3 months we didn't know the sex. We only found out the sex at 21 weeks.
But the names, we had already names.
Oh yes, that's true.
We had said names already.
Oh yeah. And Fezile we had.
Yeah, Fezile was one of them. And it was just equity. Now let's grab what we actually want.
Okay.
So yeah.
I wanted an English name.
What's your reason for?
I liked it. I just liked it, but I understood your reasoning, and my brother, who's very pro. What did you want to call Ufezile? Kawe.
Yeah.
Was it not Kawe?
It was a Kawe.
Yeah, he wanted to call him Kawe, and we were like, nah, we don't like the name. Yeah, you call your son Kawe or Dingan.
Dingan.
Yeah.
He says that he wants
his son to be Dingan.
But his girlfriend, like,
nah.
She ain't having that.
No, she ain't having that. So, I just like Liam, but I fully understand where we're coming from. We're coming from a background where we do have the mentality of our child needs an English name. And the minute I started understanding where my brother and my husband were coming from, I started questioning why. Why do we need an English name? Why is it a need? We're not English, you know, just like you said, we're not English. And the more I realized, the more I fell in love with having to explain to Fezile one day when maybe he asked, why don't I have an English name? Because we're proud.
And hopefully he doesn't actually even get to that stage.
Yes.
Why don't I have?
In fact, I feel like he might grow up in a generation where he would question why he has an English name if we had given him an English name, you know, because I mean, I've got an English name too and I use it, but I remember I was even thinking of swapping my names. You guys don't know my other name. But I do have a closer name, Dimuvuyelwa, and I never used that name ever because my parents never used that name in my schooling, and it's always been Yolanda. So now when I think about it,
at home you were
Vui at home, and that's where it ended. It's still not Vuyelwa.
Correct.
I've never really grown up in an environment where Vuyelwa.
Yeah.
And the name Vuyelwa. No, I've always just been Vui at home. Says Vui, my brother and my sister. And at times now that we're older, they all call me Yolz, you know, Yolanda or Yolz. And my brother and my sister, their first names are English. I was actually the only one with the first name that's closer. So it's pretty interesting. But anyway, my point is, when I thought about it, the more and more I thought about it, I realized that there has to be pride as well in our blackness and in our culture, and it has to show in some way. And your name is one of the first things that you introduce yourself with. So I can see Ufezile one day introducing himself proudly as Ufezile, and when somebody asks, Fefe who? Or what's your English name? He has to just say, my name is Fezile, proudly, you know, without the thoughts of should I have or shouldn't I have, or do I have something easier for you to learn to pronounce. You know, it should not be like that. It should be us really being who we are, proud for being who we are, being pro-black. Being pro-black doesn't mean anti-white, but I think it also means
more about pride of
who you coming from, where you're coming from. Yes. And also the name Fezile, we saw it as an achievement, as an accomplishment, not necessarily for something big, but we love the name and that's what it means. So there has to also be some sense there of achieving something new in our family, in our culture as well. We want to grow that culture. No child of ours will have an English name. And that's going to be the generation that we raise, you know. And that's not, again, something against English names, but rather we are pro black names.
I mean, that's purely it. I mean, what's something that's important that you really said is that we're not against whiteness, and being pro black doesn't necessarily mean that you're against. It's just that you are proud of who you are. And that's just it.
And a sense of ownership, I suppose, because the name comes with so many things. Like when you even read in the word where names come from and how people were named,
and
you know,
the meanings behind
it.
Because you know, I mean, my dad, when obviously I had told him Guti, his name is Fez, the pride that he had, Guti. Listen, I don't know what you guys were thinking when you named, but that name is perfect. You know. So with that, knowing exactly the pride that with the meaning that goes behind that name, because I mean, I'm my dad's firstborn son.
I'm my mom's firstborn. We both are mom's firstborns.
And he's proud that his grandson from his firstborn is Ufezi. So I mean, that carries so much weight. In all with it. So I mean, that's ultimately, it's nothing but being too deep.
No,
it's purely just saying that, listen, we're black,
we pro it, we're showing it, we're proud, and we're doing it our way.
If we could, we'd always just be all black in these videos.
Otherwise I'll have to have subtitles all the time.
But we need to obviously YouTube
accommodate.
But it's just being pro-black.
Even with the language that we plan to speak in the house, like we speak English, and then I speak Swati to Lwazi speak closer to me, and we believe we'll continue that so that our son gets to be multilingual, you know, in his speech. So we really not against English. We just think it's just time for us to change the norm in our family.
Fizzy's feeling very sleepy at the moment.
Before he starts crying or going crazy, I'm gonna end this video right here, plus the light might be irritating him. I hope you guys did enjoy our video, and let us know what you think. What are your thoughts, you know, on naming your child non-English names, or just you know, your language name, Xhosa names, Tswana names, just that. Let us know down in the comment section. Let's get the conversation going. I'd like to know what you are thinking.
Even if it's why you want to give your kids English
names. That's interesting. Why
I'd like to know
Yeah.
What's your reason?
Yep,
What's your
yep.
take on it? So yeah.
Let us know, and of course don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. We love you guys so much, and mwah,